We have requested Deeksha to help us with our students about history optional. She has been the student of LevelUp IAS for, I think, last 2 years or 3 years, Deeksha, now? It's 3 years. 2.5 years. Okay. So, in various courses. Firstly, I would like to congratulate her on her stupendous success. And I will just give her the platform.
So, starting with the map section, I think this is one of the most important section. 50 mark determines a lot in the ranking. So, for the basic material, I referred to Rashid Yassin book of map. But now I think LevelUp has also introduced its own mapping book. So I think any of these books can really help you in making sure that you cover all the PYQs first. So I made sure that at least 15 years ke PYQs of map I had done already. And then self-study history ka bhi material tha mere paas, mapping ka. So both of these helped me to cover almost all the sites. In the paper, I attempted around 14 to 15 sites. There were 4 to 5 sites that I could not recognize or might have gone wrong. So I think the accuracy level of mapping, the target should be 17 to 18. It is okay if you do not get 100% accuracy in this, because there will be an element of uncertainty in mapping. So my focus was more on Stone Age sites, Paleolithic, Mesolithic, Neolithic, Chalcolithic, because it is something that is constantly repeating. And I had made at least no detailed notes of 50 to 100 sites, including the districts. So not all the districts, but yeah, the important sites, I had learned all the districts and the specific information about them. Now I know that mapping is very difficult because you're not able to recall every site, and there are multiple sites bahut pass mein. So for that, I had different revision strategies. So I used to ask my friends to draw a map and ask me randomly what site is present in Gujarat, what site is present in MP. So that active recalling by your peer or batchmates, that really help a lot. So by this quiz slash visual recalling, I tried to remember more and more sites. So that was my strategy. In the theoretical 30-word section, most of the times the information that you write is generic. The template is ready. For example, if it's a Stone Age, the microlith, then you write about the tools present, you write about the domestication that is happening. So it is okay to write a generic information about the sites. The most important thing is identification. Information may, if you even write one specific information about the site, I think that is more than enough. So apart from that, I also referred to some current affair section in the mapping. For example, Sinoli, if the excavation is happening there. So maybe UPSC is getting dynamic, and so it can ask certain sections which are in news. So I had made a WhatsApp group with me with history optional title tha uska, and whatever sites I used to get in newspaper, I just used to take a picture and send it on the group. So end may just go through the sites that you had sent yourself, which were in the current affairs. So these were the things that I wanted to share about mapping section specifically. Coming to the theoretical section of ancient India. So yes.
I just wanted to know कि daily ritual क्या होता था mapping का आपका, how much time you used to give to it. Initially आपने plot भी किया होगा maps को, right? अलग-अलग जगह से refer किया होगा, then you would have collated it, and then you would have come down to revision on a daily basis, right? तो initially कितना time दिया, what was the exact strategy that you adopted, etc.?
Yes, after prelims, I gave it half an hour every day.
Okay.
And just before the exam, like 4 days you get for optional. In those 4 days, I used to give extra time, like around 40 minutes to 1 hour to mapping. Right. So half an hour just before sleeping, you just take it as a fun activity. So that doesn't seem like a burden. So yes, half an hour.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. So coming back to the theoretical section, this is the screenshot of my map. My syllabus. So each and every word I had underlined, and I had made sure that I had different notes prepared on it. So I think this is something that you have to do for each and every section. हर सब unit का हर एक word पे आपके पास कुछ material होना चाहिए. Not extensive, because effectively you cannot write more than 250 words. So for each and every word, you should at least have 150 to 250 words का notes. So I made sure that जब भी मैं notes बनाने जाती थी या पढ़ने जाती थी, first I have the syllabus in front of me, then I have the PYQ booklet in front of me, and then my class notes in front of me. So these three things have to be there. So for example, if I am starting revising sources, for sources I will ensure that I'll see the syllabus, I'll see the PYQ कि इससे क्या क्या आ चुका है already, and then I'll read my notes, and after I've learned everything, then I'll write my PYQs. So I think this gives a systematic approach of learning as well as revising. And yeah, so for ancient, I had referred VK Jain. It's a very thin book regarding prehistory. So I had read it before prelims only, which is quite useful because of UPSC anyway, it is asking more about Chalcolithic, Neolithic, Mesolithic. इस साल भी Chalcolithic पे पूरा question था. So I did it through VK Jain, and then Upinder Singh is the basic book. Apart from that, I had certain college notes already prepared in my graduation. I did my history honors from Miranda House, and that I had certain notes already prepared on certain topics.
Diksha,
So that,
can I stop you for a moment to ask a couple of questions?
yes.
First is about Upinder Singh's book. It's a very comprehensive book, very thick book, and I think it contains a lot of details. The
Yes.
question that students generally ask is how to decide what not to read and what to read in that book.
Yes, sir. That is a genuine question. But again, that is why I took my syllabus and then kept it in front of me. अगर syllabus में archaeology लिखा है, then there is a possibility that anything and everything can come in the paper. So if archaeology का थोड़ा सा भी section है, just read it out of interest. Don't make full notes out of it, but do make notes of certain author, name, sites. For example, B.B. Lal, is very crucial in archaeological excavation. Have certain sites prepared. So I think you have to be smart in note making, but you have to be a little liberal in reading. That's a
Nice.
very, yes.
Yeah.
So these were my sources largely, and then of course LevelUp whatever crash course we did and the paper discussions we had, all these PYQs that we attempted, I had a different uh, one-pager notes prepared for them. So that also really helped. So coming to the part where ancient India is really becoming dynamic in the sense that they are not asking factual questions, they're asking analytical questions. So for that, I think that was my strong suit. I was not very good in remembering factual information, but analytical question or debatable question, they are low hanging fruits because it gives you a lot of space to actually express what you know. So for me, ancient India was my favorite because उसमें debates और ये मुझे बहुत अच्छे लगते थे. The analytical part, I know the resources are limited, but I think even in LevelUp, whatever we discuss, the debates on Ashoka, Buddhism, Harsha, all these debates, आप उन debates का एक one pager बना लीजिए, and after that one pager, you just write the major arguments and the scholars associated with it. You will subsequently write the answers. So थोड़ा सा non-conventional approach रहना चाहिए for ancient India. Don't be very factual and just ratify the facts. For example, I had taken one example of this year only that the question came that Harappans were not artistic people, comment. So it gave a lot of scope to go beyond the question as well. It had hidden historiography as well. And I think it is more important to understand what is the hidden demand of the question. So in this question where Harappans were not artistic people, you had to give in certain analytical part where colonial historiography portrayed Harappans as non-artistic and compared it with Egyptian and other civilization. So I think when you understand the demand of the question, the analytical part does not become a very big problem. So I did a critical analysis of that colonial perspective and then wrote the factual bit of artistic achievements of Harappans. Then the second question that comes is how to interlink different topics: religion, art, economy, and especially for 20 markers, they are giving a very broad questions that is demanding a lot of interconnections. So for that, I think you have to brainstorm a lot. Once you, just like essay, जब अपन essay attempt करने जाते हैं, you first sit with it and brainstorm it. I think similarly for 20 markers as well, it requires 1 minute of attention. You read the question and then you understand what all subsections you'll make under it and how interconnections what all sections you'll include. So for 20 markers, I used to take 1 minute to think and brainstorm the broad understanding of the question. So for this, I had taken an example of the ideological challenge posed by Jainism and Buddhism was deeply rooted in the socio-economic transformation. This question I had attempted in my real paper as well. So for this, you had to connect religion with economy and with society. Uh, these were the three things that you had to interconnect. So I think in our mind, it is very clear why it happened, but it is very difficult to write all this in a very comprehensive manner. So for that, divide the question as much as possible, give multiple subheadings, and make sure that your introduction and conclusion is binding all the arguments. Beach 20 markers may, it is a possibility that the examiner will not read each and every word of yours. So make sure that the introduction बहुत सही है, एकदम apt है. It is capturing the essence of the question, and the conclusion is just concluding all the arguments that you have made above. So for me, 20 markers were really important, and uske liye introduction, conclusion extremely important. उसके beyond subheadings were really important. जो भी question में ही दिया है, उसी की subheadings बना के I used to write it. So this was the second thing. Yes.
Can I ask one thing here? For
Yes, sir.
20 markers, when we focus on intro and conclusion, what is the usual length that you permitted yourself for intro and conclusion? Is it like one sentence, two sentence, 1/2 page?
So sometimes my introduction used to go up till half page. I won't recommend it to everybody, but sometimes introduction requires you to give a broad understanding. But still, I think 1/4 page or maximum half page, that is enough. And conclusion was relatively smaller than the introduction.
Okay.
So, yes.
Yeah.
Going forward, the third important thing for ancient history is tailwords, because it defines the demand of the question. So the comment, critically analyze or analyze. There are different tailwords coming now. Give your opinion, which is coming in GS. So I think tailwords को पकड़ना बहुत important है to make sure कि आपको कितने subendings देना है और कितने counter arguments देना है. That is really important. So make sure जब आप answer writing कर रहे हैं, you pay more focus on the tailwords. Then fourth is I used a lot of maps, flowcharts, and timelines. Ancient India is a subject which has the luxury कि आप थोड़ा सा extra कर सकते हो because you already know the basics. So you have to have an edge over a generic answer. So for that, make sure that you use the maps क्योंकि आप already 50 mark का map prepare कर रहे हो. You're giving half an hour every day for it. So why not utilize it in the theoretical section as well? So I used a lot of maps, even to represent a dynasty. To even if the question is not asking, I used to make a map. थोड़ी जगह भी cover कर लेता है वो, and it also gives a good aesthetic sense to your answer. Flow chart also becomes important, especially when the question is very open-ended. 18th century आ गया पूरा, या just the whole Mauryan Empire. So there's a lot of years and events included in those centuries. So if you want to represent it, you can represent it in a timeline. So there was this question this year about the Chalcolithic tool that the people used. So in that question, I had drawn a lot of tools, the microliths, the chopping tools, and the boulders. Whatever I used, I could remember, I drew it and I made a box around it. and I labeled it. So I think that gives an understanding to the examiner that you have not just factually ratified the answer, but you have actually understood ki kaise the tools. And not just drawing the tools, but also telling the examiner ki this shows how cognitive development of the humans took place slowly and steadily. So go beyond the demand of the question. Thoda sa one step extra, 1 mark extra in every question, so that cumulatively your marks can increase. Because in 2023, I wrote very generic answer. I got 250 in my optional. And this year, the 30 marks jump was because maybe I used one extra thing in every question. Then the fifth important thing is debatable questions जो ancient India में आते हैं. So I think this is also very interesting. It gives you a lot of scope to write historiography. So I know ancient India mein the notes are very extensive. Debate wale question, maybe you have इतने thick books बन जाते हैं at the end of the day. But for me, I had made sure कि end में आते आते I had just made इतना सा note. If there is a debate on IVC, I had just made this much note so that I can read it just before my examination in those 4 days. And I had stuck it on my wall. So this is why I've given a picture as well. अगर IVC के बारे में कोई भी debate है, make sure that you know the major arguments. आप elaborate कर लोगे. You know the story. You just need to know the scholars and their major arguments. So make very short notes, especially for debatable questions, and I think that will help in the end. Yes, and I think the next important part is art and culture question.
Just a moment. About the debates in ancient India, if one prepares for such short notes for all the major debates, can you give me a sense of how many debates that were prepared for ancient India? I mean, but 20, 30, 40, 50, कितने debates है? A general sense, not exact number, roundabout guess.
I think 12 to 15 I had made इतने से छोटे notes for ancient India. Medieval में भी है 18th century especially. So उसमें भी थे. तो collectively around 40 debates होंगे in my notes.
Okay.
Yes, so coming to art and culture questions, it is very rewarding and it is a low-hanging fruit. Although it doesn't seem like it, but it is. So I had a different handout for art and culture questions. For example, अगर Mauryan है, Gupta है, and Vijayanagar है, for each and every dynasty, I had made different art and culture notes for them. So it is very useful in GS1 as well and in optional as well. GS1 mein you write the factual analysis. In the optional part, you write certain analytical part as well. For example, if we are talking about Mauryan art and architecture, we do compare it with the Mesopotamian architecture, and then we show how art represents political unification. We also give the analytical part by quoting scholars like Susan Huntington. So I think GS से थोड़ा सा बदलता है art and culture questions when you give this analysis part. But apart from that, art and culture is very rewarding. वो हर unit में एक and art and culture आ ही रहा है. So it's better not to ignore these questions and make sure that you have 2-pager notes for each and every dynasty prepared. And थोड़ा सी drawing भी बना दो. I think that rewards. So prelims के लिए भी I think when you start reading about prelims, उसमें भी art and culture आता ही है. So it's not that you have to go an extra mile. You're already reading about it. You just have to refine it. Then the 7th important thing was South India. Especially in ancient and medieval, there is a lot of now focus on the peripheral aspects of history. Ahom, Vijayanagar, Chola, Chera, Pandya, Pallava and Chanukya का conflict. ये सब repeat होते ही हैं. There is always one question from South India that comes in. Even the Sangam era. So I personally did not like it because the names were very complicated. But I made sure कि at least PYQs तो मैंने करे ही थे सारे South India के. And I also made sure कि थोड़ा सा value addition करा था. For example, there's a lot of current aspects about South India. For example, Sir had a session with Anirudh Kanisetti and the Lord of the Deccans book had come out. So that is something that you can add to give an extra edge in any answer that comes on Chola Empire. Secondly, there's this recent happening, INS Kondanya by Sanjeev Sanyal. So he's remaking the maritime ships of that era. So these are current affair notes that I utilized in my optional answers as well. So I think वो एक करंट अफेयर से कनेक्ट बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है. History is not a static subject. It is a very dynamic subject, and you have to represent that to the examiner. So South India for that, and South India के लिए again 250 words maximum notes. For example, Chera, Pandya, Chola, these are the dynasties that might or might not come. But आपके पास हमेशा 250 to 300 words का notes prepare होना चाहिए for anything that has to come. You cannot go beyond these words. So limited notes, but on each and every dynasty. So I think that was it for ancient.